In this podcast, I'm going to be talking about San Antonio, how to get to San Antonio, what to do in San Antonio, as well as what to fish for in San Antonio. So let's get started. First of all, you got to figure out how to get to San Antonio. So if you live in South Texas, you can just drive it. In fact, if you live in North Texas, you can just drive it. Um, but outside of maybe say Texas, I wouldn't recommend driving it. I'd rather just get a flight. It's a decent airport. It's not a crazy hub like say Houston, LA, or New York City, but it can get you places. It won't be a pain in the rear to get in and out of. So, hop into San Antonio Airport if you're out of state. So like if you're say coming from LA, it's a $200 ticket, done. So on and so forth. That was just the example that comes to head. If you are in state, it is a very easy bus ticket. It's a very easy car ride. So I live right now in Corpus Christi. For me to take a bus is about a $30 bus ride, and it's like 3 hours by the time I'm done. But with car, it's like 2 hours. Austin is 40 minutes away, so it's not a bad idea if you want to try to visit Austin and visit San Antonio. You could do both on the same trip because of that. Fly in one, leave the other. If you want to get creative, just so you know, those two cities are about 45 minutes apart. So that is how you get to San Antonio. Now that we've established that, other thing, your hotels or motels, depending on what you get, but you can get a basic hotel, and there's a lot of good hotels that are sitting right around the Riverwalk. And that is where you want to be. You want to be a couple blocks away from Riverwalk because that's where all the funky like downtown stuff is. That's also where the Riverwalk is, where all the stuff's going to occur because that's one of the nicer parts of the city. And the Alamo is also a couple blocks away from there as well. So everything that you want to go do as a tourist is all going to be sitting a couple blocks from each other if you get the hotel in the right spot. So strategic hotel placement can basically allow you to just avoid needing most of your transportation. So with that in mind, you grab your hotel. Great. Other things to look for. It's just nice area. Downtown San Antonio. As for dining, Green Vegetarian Cuisine is the restaurant I spent time in, and it is definitely a enjoyable restaurant. Or if you're vegan, it's also a nice choice because it's like they will offer like different options. So like you can order a cheeseburger, which is a vegetarian cheeseburger, so all your imagination take place. But at the same time, they'll actually ask you like if you want like a fake cheese, they can go do that as well, or the non-dairy cheese, excuse me. So that is dining. Attractions. Riverwalk is, like I said, is gorgeous. It looks kind of like a Venice Canal, and the best time to do it is at night, because what happens is during the daytime, none of the lights are on, obviously, but at night, if you get a chance to go at night, there's all these like lights. They basically just like make the whole place come alive. So that is something to note. Other thing, excuse me, Alamo, I didn't actually get a chance to go to. Or didn't go to yet. I might end up in San Antonio again because just closeness. But Alamo never got a chance to go to, so I cannot vouch it. Yes, I'm the one person who's done San Antonio as a tourist and has not been to the Alamo, which is what most people go there for. But also, if you're from outside Texas, one thing I would recommend is a Buc-ee's. It may seem utterly stupid, but people within Texas treat it as it's like a cult thing, basically. It's like the place you go get gag gifts. And people in Texas adore it as a brand. Adore it as a Texas brand. Essentially what it is, it's like someone who wants to own a large amount of land for the sake of owning a large amount of land. That's essentially what Buc-ee's is. And anyone in Texas would get that and just laugh. So basically, when you have that in mind, and just so you know, San Antonio is the main area of San Antonio is about 30 minutes away from where the nearest Buc-ee's is. So most people are like, why would you go 30? And let me clarify, Buc-ee's is a gas station brand. So most people are like, why are you going to go 30 minutes out of the way for a gas station? It's an attraction. It's actually a thing. Like, you do not get how much ridiculous amount of stuff is in a Buc-ee's until you've been to one. Like, it is just, like, so let me put it this way. Here, this little inch between my fingers, if you're just listening to this, well, inch between my fingers is most normal gas stations, the size. The 1 foot space in between my fingers now is what a Buc-ee's is. It looks like, okay, it's like a Ralph's. Like the gas station store is, if you're in LA or if you're in California or the West Coast, it's like going into a Ralph's. Is the size, is in terms of like how large or how spread out the place is. It's like if a Ralph's was a gas station store, basically. So yes, it is a, if you've never been to one, it is fun to go to. So those are your attractions, your side attractions. And there's other kinds of little side checks like a Ripley's Museum and so on and so forth. But those are ones you could find in any other serious city. And so that's all of the attraction stuff. Great. Now we're going to talk about the actual fishing portion of this. So I made it in the form. So I talked about fishing the Riverwalk itself. You're not actually supposed to be fishing the Riverwalk itself, just so you know. The river, what people actually refer to as the Riverwalk, is a square chunk. I want to make this crystal clear in this video, or this podcast. There's a square area of the San Antonio River that's gone the outside of the San Antonio River that is called the Riverwalk. And that's the part everyone walks around that looks nice and everything. That's where all the attraction stuff is. But you basically go further down. It's all walking distance. You can go just about half a mile down. Looks like a dam area, a spillway basically. And that is an area you can go fish. And just have that in mind. So, but when you're at the river, what is a fun thing to go fish for? They actually have pretty good sized panfish. Like, I mean, also I'm used to catching 4-inch bluegill, but basically I've caught panfish there that will eat a drop shot. So I was actually fishing a drop shot with the intent of catching, say, like small bass. I brought a lot of just finesse fishing gear and some bait fishing gear. Like, I'm talking about a proper little fluke on a drop shot. And I was like, okay, I'm getting these little bites. Nice. And by the time I actually get a chance to set the hook and land one, I'm like, oh, this thing's like a pumpkin seed. Cool. The pumpkin seed was bigger than my hand. So these are good sized panfish. These are serious panfish. And they will eat a drop shot. So if you can pack a medium light spinning rod with like a 6 pound, I was using like say 6 pound leader and a little bit of 15-pound braid, that is perfect. So that way, even if you land, or even if you get, say, smaller bass, you can handle it no problem. Even decent sized bass you can handle on that outfit. I've handled on that type of combo, couple pound bass, no problem. 4 pound, like 3 pound bass, largemouth on that combo. So you can easily, on that setup, you can handle decent bass if you end up hooking one. Also, if you're interested, there's all the boat guys that do all the touring along the Riverwalk will tell you there is Guadalupe bass in that river system as well. So I personally have not encountered one, but it is a fun thing to go for if you're anyways fishing a drop shot or a finesse fishing outfit. And Guadalupe bass, just for people who don't know, are their range is very small. Like, they're basically found, like, say, south and parts like, say, northern Texas. So they're not in a whole lot of the country. It's kind of like going for these shoal bass in Georgia, or like a very rare species of trout. So if it's a fun thing to do, if you want to just take your luck at it and try to go for a Guadalupe bass as well, using all the same tactics that I've mentioned here. Other things you could try. So let's see. So 3-inch fluke on a drop shot. So you could do, and the bottom's pretty clean, so you can get away with, if you want to fish like a bottom bouncing rig, you could do that as well. And yeah, so essentially what I did, so when I did I did most of my fishing at night. This is something I want to make clear. I did most of my fishing at night, and the best way of doing it is like you do in saltwater, where you just look for the spotlights. best way of doing it. They will have all these areas will be lit up at night. You can hit those. You can basically cast those spotlights, and these panfish are in schools. Like, you can literally pitch your bait back there, get bit again if you missed something the first time. So that's one of the advantages of fishing for panfish in this river system. All right. Take care, everyone. And if you like what you see here, please subscribe, like, and let me know if you're interested in visiting South Texas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio. If you want me to do more content in this area, please let me know. All right. Take care.